Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It is Foreign's the foodie.
And we are back.
We back.
We're doing the credits today.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put out that I am in one of the 3 weeks of a woman's life where you are not responsible for your feelings, emotions, all that kind of stuff. I'm just not really feeling it today. But we're here.
Aww.
We are here to record and talk about a waste man.
A waste man. I think it's
quite appropriate. I'm so tired of these documentaries, that especially because we did an Africa Eye documentary before the Sex for Grades one. I'll link it in the show notes if you haven't listened to it. And it's just like, I understand the importance of these documentaries, because you need to get the word out there. You need to show people that these people are predators and how they infiltrate communities and all that kind of stuff, But it's like nothing changes.
I mean, yeah.
It's so depressing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Nothing changes because the powers that be that should enforce the change, it doesn't benefit them to do so.
Yeah.
So why would anything be different from what it is?
Yeah.
Because this particular guy only became what he was because there were people that enabled that behavior.
Yeah. I mean, whoop, there it is.
Whoop, there it is. But, I mean, let's get into it. So we'll break down the documentary itself and then we'll talk about the bits.
Yes. And it's called The Disciples of TB Joshua, the Cult of TB Joshua or something like that.
It's on BBC.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. BBC Africa Eye. Because it's on YouTube, I'll link the thing in the show notes as well in case you want to watch it.
I just realised I hope I watched the right one.
There's 3 parts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't remember cycle in the thing, so I was like, shit.
You didn't remember what?
Cycle.
No, I said disciple.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, that's fine.
We're good.
Ciao.
We're back. We're good.
We're back. We had a senior moment there. Yeah, so this documentary is 3 parts. And I think the 3 parts focus on 3 different, I guess, moments in the trajectory of this story. In the story of this thing, yeah. So naturally the first part is an introduction into like this guy, the church, so the synagogue, that's what they call it, which is just like, and
this is how you know there's just confusion from the beginning, because how is it the synagogue church of
I fucking hate when, like, I don't know how to explain this. I hate when denominations of Christianity try to like do weird things, like not weird things, but like
they try to other themselves, like, look at
like,
us.
So like the FLDS or the Mormons, they call their church the temple. Like it's a fucking church. Like it's a church.
Not a temple. It's like me making a church and calling it a mosque. It's not a mosque though, is it? It's a church. Mosque. So why are we just cohabiting or co-opting? Why are we co-opting other places of worship?
There's nothing wrong with the temple. Exactly. That is it. There's nothing wrong with the temple. There's nothing wrong with the synagogue. But that is not what it is. Those things belong to other religions.
Words mean things. A synagogue is a religious place for Jewish people to worship. Not asterisks. But if you add church, it's now a church. That's why I knew the devil, the spirit of confusion was here all along, because that doesn't make any sense.
May my enemies be that confused.
Amen.
So this church or this synagogue is led by a pastor that calls himself TD Jakes. He's called Bishop.
No, it's
TD Jakes.
TB Joshua sis. That's the other one.
I'm telling you. If I speak. There'll be a documentary on that one soon. You can't libel or slander me, hit me with anything with that.
Not the Potter around his house, child.
This time next year,
Lordy,
we finna be talking about a different tea. Nah, but I kept mixing them up in my head. It's led by a priest pastor called TB Joshua. Okay, cool.
Got it.
And do you know what? I must actually say, and I don't know if this is problematic or not, but he was not bad looking when he was younger.
I don't remember. But I just remember thinking, ew. Like when they were describing, maybe because they showed a lot of him in the present day. Well, he's dead. Spoiler alert. But they showed a lot of him in like the recent days, and I was just like, ugh. And like when the women were describing their experiences, I was like, ugh, ugh.
Yeah. That was
I don't
disgusting.
remember the picture of him being. But I mean, and this is a good lesson for us to learn. Yeah, problematic or not, good-looking people can be evil too.
Yep.
So let us remember that.
So we meet this pastor or priest. I can't remember what he calls him, but I don't know who ordained him bishop.
What are the credentials? What are the credentials? Like, can you just decide, oh yeah, cool, I'm pastor, and just start calling yourself pastor?
Yeah,
because I don't know what
think
this
he was
guy.
A bishop. I'm still mixing it up with TD Jakes. He's a bishop, right?
Yeah, Bishop T.D. Jakes. Yeah, he is. Yeah,
but this one is not a bishop.
This one was a pastor, I think.
Okay, that's fine.
Specifically.
Before we meet him, actually, we meet future congregation members. So at the time, they've been out of this, whatever, but this is them talking about before they joined. And the first lady we meet, I actually do not remember her name.
Rachel. Wow. Is it Ray?
Ray.
The one that's gay?
Ray.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray.
So she grew up in a very religious background, and, you know, she always sought out the Lord and everything like that. But then when she was 12, she discovered that she was gay, and she did that thing that a lot of Christian people who like discover their sexuality and it's not heterosexual do, where they kind of say, like, you know, they feel a lot of shame, they feel like it's unnatural, and they feel like they need to change.
Like it's a disease upon them.
Yeah, and understandably, completely understandable,
because they make you feel that way.
Exactly. So she's like, shit, I need to fix this thing about me. So she is like hyperfixated on religion, hyperfixated on God. And then we meet another girl. She reminds me of the girl from Brave. Not Brave. Ooh, what's that animated movie where she has ginger hair and it's long? You wouldn't know.
I was gonna say Tangled, but she has blonde hair, doesn't she?
Yeah, I don't even know why I was asking you, because you
would. Wrong person.
That is not your ministry.
Wrong person.
Yeah, but she's another person who, she's not gay, but she also is just from a very religious background. Her mum died of cancer when she was younger, so she's always been quite religious. So let's park them. TB Joshua is in Nigeria. He's doing his thing, right? He's building a church. He's all humble. People are following him. They're called disciples. He is doing his thing. He's doing the thing that Nigerian pastors do. Whatever that thing you imagine them doing.
Do you know what they are?
He's doing it.
I'm sorry, yeah. These Nigerian pastors, yeah, and not just Nigeria specifically, but I'm Nigerian, so I'll speak on Nigerians, yeah. They are influencers. Like, just because mine is online and I say double tap, unfollow and like for more, yeah, that is literally their vibe. Like, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. I will lead you to wherever. And what's the result of it? Money. Like, it's all the same. It's just their brand of influencing. Because there's 100%. Not really Jesus in it most of the time.
He ain't there. He ain't there. So TB Joshua and his church, they are producing these videos of miracles that he's doing, right? And so Ray and the other babe, do you remember her name?
I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry, sis, if you hear this.
I'm so sorry. Ray and the other babe, they see these videos of these miracles happening in front of them. People who cannot walk in. People who cannot see in. People who had cancer cured. People who had saggy tits firm. Everything is all right. Okay, and they're like, you know what? I'ma cut me a slice. And these two women pack up and move to. Well, they go to Nigeria in hopes to meet TB Joshua. And
from the UK, sorry, let's just put it into context. They leave the UK to go to Nigeria.
And this is before people were going to Nigeria for Dirty December.
This is back in the day. This is like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s.
So they go there. And it doesn't take long for TB Joshua to be like, yeah, you lots aren't leaving. The Lord told me that you were here to stay. And they join his cult. Now, TB Joshua starts to gain. So in this first episode, we see TB Joshua gaining like momentum, popularity. A lot of white South Africans are coming to church.
Yeah, the whites. He's so happy about the whites.
He's so happy
coming
about the
along.
whites.
He loves
They're
it.
Spreading the word, blah, blah, blah. The church is growing. And towards the end of this first episode, we start to see that something in the water ain't clean. Like, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Something is off about him. But they don't really delve into it in the first episode. Second episode is all about the fuckery. So this is where the
fuckery begins. And let me tell you, listener, it doesn't end.
It doesn't end. We start to see like how he is trigger warning sexually assaulting his congregation members,
Yeah.
beating people,
Literally physically assaulting them,
physically lying about the miracles, manipulating people,
depriving them of sleep, depriving them of food until people start to say they look hella small.
One thing they don't really talk about is financially. I found that quite shocking.
What he gained, yeah.
Because
They
obviously he
kind of
was
touch on
gaining.
it. They kind of touch on it because, you know, when they're like, oh, they're talking about the guest house and stuff, like, I'll go and find what they charge at 5-star hotels in America because that's what I'm going to charge here. Like, people can't expect to come and get something from God for free. So there is a money aspect, but I think that was nothing compared to everything else that he was doing.
I guess so, because there's always inevitably financial abuse in these situations.
Yeah.
And so then the final episode really covers the downfall of, I wouldn't say of him, because as of when he died, there was no downfall.
Yeah, there was no downfall. He faced no consequences on Earth.
He faced absolutely no consequences on Earth. And the second episode as well dabbles into the fact that, like, he was like what's the word I'm gonna...
Ritualist.
Yeah, ritualist.
Yeah. After also, he spends a lot of time telling people that they are ritualists and they're witches and wizards and that they need to repent of their sins. These times you are doing up ritualizations. And
he's so hyperfixated on people's promiscuity
/ lack thereof, because it's all everything is projection here. Like everything that he's saying that they're doing or that they want, and that this spirit that they have and that spirit that they have, he has it all.
Exactly. So the final episode is kind of like I don't know if the downfall is the right word, but the way it's framed, it's like
the blow
downfall, but it's not. It's the blow up. Basically, it starts to come out about the sexual assault he's committing. So his daughter blows up his spot.
And his daughter from daughter from a woman who's not his wife while he was married to his wife.
And nobody says anything about that.
Nobody says anything about it. No, in fact, they beat her up. But okay.
And then the church building collapses, and then it comes out that that's partially due
the cover up. Please get out of my face. Please.
Yeah. And then in this episode he dies, and I was so surprised, like, they showed his body, like, on the...
This is BBC Africa Eye. This is not
anything
BBC UK.
Goes. Anything goes. And yeah, that was the end of the documentary. I mean, it just told the story. I didn't know there was anything this dodgy going on. Like, I didn't know it was a cult. I just thought, I don't know. Actually, do you know what? I think a lot of African churches, we normalize the fact that they're cults. So
yes, but the difference with this one is that they lived together. You know how we were saying, remember that job fishing one? Not the job fishing. That one with that guy. I'll find the episode. I'll put it in the show notes. Yeah,
about the house.
What was it called? A Very British Cult. That one. And they lived together. It's when people start living with each other and all that stuff that it's like,
the problem is. Yeah,
that's where the problem really starts. And like, I get it with like Nigerian churches, they do have this like hyperfixation on the pastor as the gateway to God. And I'm just like, babe, the same Jesus that died for him also died for you. So if really that's your belief, then you should also accept that you can actually access this Jesus without this person chatting shit. Do you know what I mean? But they hyperfixate on like the pastors themselves, and that's why it's given cult, because why is this your leader? I don't get it.
It was also quite interesting to me that a black guy from Africa was a cult leader, and he had like white followers, and
he loved it. He loved it. And then there was a bit where he almost was saying like, oh, you know, it's almost like reparation. He didn't say reparations, but it's given like, oh, he wants the white people to be the slaves. Let's talk about these talking heads as well, yeah, because they were all people who were some way involved in the cult, we'll call it. And I feel sometimes with these situations, you want to extend grace to people because there's an element of coercion there. They were beaten, they were sexually assaulted and everything. Like, two things can be true, right? Because at that time, they were definitely, some of the people were complicit in bringing girls to TB Joshua.
Enough, that's what my husband said. So he said that he hates things like this where, okay, you're coming out now, but like you did some fucked up shit too.
Exactly.
And so are we all meant to just forget that you did that shit?
Exactly. This is how I get so like, especially with the guys, because he had these like, not henchmen, maybe like houseboys kind of, that would do everything for him. They were always around, and he wouldn't let people sleep, which I think was also part of the like cult vibes, and the control. But whenever he wanted to sexually assault a woman, he would send them away. And it's like they couldn't fathom that, like, it took a while before they were like, I realized that he was really raping these. Okay, and then what did you do?
Yeah.
Like, what was the breaking point? Like, what did you do?
You followed this guy to do rituals.
And now you're coming to tell us about how, it's so bad, but I did the ritual. Who would he have been able to do the ritual if not for you, ritualist?
I must say, though, whilst I tend not to really believe in stuff like that, I do think there's something dark about...
I feel like if you believe
the way he died was weird.
How did he die?
Apparently he just dropped, and like they have never released a cause of death, and he died really young. He couldn't have dropped
sooner.
He was but he died early. He was like 50 something.
God said the evil you have done is enough.
It's more than enough.
Nah.
It just, the whole thing was just insane. Like, women talking about like multiple abortions they had, and there's nothing wrong with an abortion, but it has to be your choice. It's not going and having multiple abortions,
and it has to be done safely.
Yeah, they were doing these, but to a point where they had rooms in the because he was
the synagogue.
He was that rampant. Just you, one man, fathering all these children.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then it's like, again, when we talk about people being complicit, the women that were there that were performing these abortions, some women, multiple. One woman said 3 times she had abortion. It's like you're seeing these same women, and then they try and say, you're lustful, you're promiscuous, you're a prostitute. They kept saying prostitute. They kept saying that word specifically. Lustful. And it's like, one woman was like, I have not had any sexual experiences. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to lust, but you're making me say out loud, I'm horny, I masturbate all the time. I don't do that shit. I don't even know what you're talking about. It's like grooming a lot of the time.
And towards the end, when people were coming out and speaking, he would then release footage of them confessing things to him, which was...
That he had made them say,
I was like, bro, like, that enough should make you leave the church. That's horrific. It's basically like your doctor releasing, like, a consultation.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, there was no sense of camaraderie within this church / cult / synagogue.
But there can't be, though, because he alienates people.
Exactly. So again, it's like, it's not as if you have a support system where you can say, do you know what, like, this is happening to me, it's happening to you, like, what should we do? You can't unionize. Do you know what I mean?
It's giving Cloud9.
It's giving Cloud9. Like, you can't unionize. Like, you low-key need to, like, firm it, you know. But it was just everyone annoyed me, like.
There was no complete victim, and there was no complete...
But this is the thing, we have to be very...
I don't know, I was going to say...
We have to be very careful because of the whole perfect victim thing, right? Like, these people are victims, they're just not the perfect victim. They're still victims, do you know what I mean? And ultimately, like, the person who is wrong here is TP Joshua. May he rest in hell. Yeah. Literally. So
with all due disrespect.
With all the disrespect he's due, But it's just like, I don't know, I still feel a way, like, a bit like, obviously I wish you could. But think about it, also, another thing that we haven't said is that these people weren't just here for a couple of years, Ray was there for like 12, 13 years.
How do you start your life again?
This is what I'm saying. You didn't go uni. You didn't have a prom. You didn't even wear MAC, the concealer, Studio Fix concealer, like we all did. You didn't go through the phases. What are the memes? What's going on? Real Housewives, you've never seen it. Like, there's so many things that are just staples of your development,
that you didn't do.
Job interview, you've not done. National insurance card, you don't have. CV, you've not written.
What do you even put in the CV if you try to write it now?
How do you explain this 12? How do you explain this 12-year gap?
It's insane.
A level where? GCSE?
Nowhere to be found. Cult. That's what you just have to say. I was in a cult. You just have to start saying it in interviews. There's no other choice. But then
I'm looking at you as an employer. I say, your judgment. Do I trust it? Do I not?
You're easily led.
You're easily led. No, it's crazy, but it's so scary because Rachel says at the beginning, like, she's like, nobody joins a cult. Like, you don't just join a cult. And it's true. Nobody joins a cult. You don't go, hey, I'm going to join a cult today. You look up 12 years later and
you've spent your time, like,
exactly
in a cult. It's true. And it happens slowly. And
it's so sad.
He had all the makings. He was charismatic. They would say that he would go and like people would come in and say this is what's wrong with you, like maybe a headache, and they'll say no, you're paralyzed, so that when he performed quote unquote the miracle, somebody that could already walk was walking.
But these are like, this is nothing new, all these fake miracles. I remember even being like young, like a child, and seeing them do one leg is shorter than the other and this miracle is gonna make your legs the same length, when really they were just like pulling the shoe, so it made it seem as if just dumb shit like that. That's just like, so even you, pastor, that's faking these miracles, do you even believe in the God that you serve? Because you're telling these people, don't take your HIV medication, don't go for your cancer treatments, don't do this, don't do that, like you're gonna be healed, but you're also faking miracles. So do you even believe that the God that you supposedly serve can do the things that you're saying he can do?
But they were saying people were dying.
Why would they not die?
Like dying. Do you know the bit that really got me? It was when one of the women just broke down and she was like, I came here looking for God, and I stayed because I was looking for God. And that is so sad. So sad. And this is what I'm saying, it makes you vulnerable. Like, they are vulnerable because he's selling you a dream. Yeah. And you're buying it because that's what you're meant to do. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is super messed up. But I think what's saddest about it is just that he never faced any consequences in real life. Not real life.
And there's still people caping for him.
But yeah.
No, on earth. There's still people caping for him. Like I saw even when they dropped it on Twitter and people were just like, oh, people are just against the man of God. Oh, I was like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Shut the fuck up.
Like even TB Joshua himself, like, when one of the men said, oh yeah, she was raped, but I said, oh, she wasn't raped.
Oh my God, I literally screamed when I saw that. She wasn't raped. I said, this guy is frightening. Are
you insane? Like, so dismissive. And then it's like, you've now planted in the seeds of the whole congregation that this woman is promiscuous, that she's lustful.
Meanwhile, she's somebody that was sexually assaulted brutally.
It's just crazy. And then like, one thing about this TB Joshua guy is that I think, we've seen narcissism before in these documentaries that we've done, but I don't know that we've seen narcissism like this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
He's on another level.
It's just insane. And even so, as we touched on before, he had a what do you call it?
Daughter.
Like a guest house, right? Oh, we'll get to the daughter. He had a guest house. And so when people would travel, because people were coming from all over the world, like people knew him in Mexico, people were coming from South Africa, from America, from Australia, they were coming from the UK, they'll come from everywhere. And so he got them to build like a guest house for people to stay in when they come, that obviously they had to pay for. And one day, and there was this people from South Africa, and do you know what it is as well for South Africans to come to a Nigerian man and be like, because they fucking, from obviously not all you guys, I'm not speaking for everybody, but it's widely known that South Africans don't fuck with Nigerians.
Didn't you see the woman that was the South African who was like, if I ever thought that I never thought I'd ever come to Nigeria, they are this, they are that, they are that,
they are this, they are forgers, they are liars.
I said, okay sis, thank you so much. In
a bit loud there.
In our own land.
But for South Africans to be like, yeah, this Nigerian man is really it. That's how you know that it was just a madness. Yeah. So we meet the family members of two women, or girls, I should say, who wanted to be part of the church. They stay in the guest house. One day, this guest house just collapses. Yeah. They try and make some fake video. Bearing in mind, they record everything. They have videos of everything. He has his own TV channel. He's trying to do Creflo Dollar vibes. Like, they record everything. So they released this video of an quote unquote airplane or aircraft that's flying too low, and he says that I felt like he was saying that they basically broke like the sound barrier, and that's what caused the thing to disrupt. And then next minute they're talking about bombs, and that the bomb was meant for him, that nobody should worry, kind of thing. Either way, so many people die, people are amputated. Like, it's a big deal. He never goes to visit, he never goes anywhere. He makes them leave the bodies there until the evening, so that they can take the bodies away without the media.
So what they were bringing out when the media was present were survivors, and then they were saying that like nobody really died.
Exactly, but so many people died. Anyway, it turns out that the reason that the building collapsed is because there was structural engineering faults within the building because he wanted to build higher, and they were like, oh, we can't do that, but then they still build higher. Again, complicity. How, or complicit, whatever. Yeah, these men were complicit because you are the expert. You know that this building doesn't need to be more than 3 floors. Why is it 5? How did that happen?
How? What was the reason?
I don't get it. Nobody said no to this man. And also, like,
and this is why I said the powers that be that should stop this, that they benefited from it.
Yeah, they don't give a heck. And also, let's remember, no disrespect to anyone that is 32 years old and a cleaner, yeah. But TB Joshua was 32 years old and cleaning the church before this happened, before he became some man of God.
So why is it that now that he's this man of God with all this money, the minute he says something, that is fact? How? Even if like, he's not equipped to know.
I just want us to remember that, like, people are people. We all bleed red.
Humans are humans. Doesn't
like,
matter.
We all bleed red, bro. Like, and Jesus, he died for all of us. So why does what you say, why is that more important than what I say?
Yep.
Like, even in life, like, certain people are more knowledgeable about certain things than you. Agree. I appreciate it. I get that, yeah. But that doesn't make them more valuable than you.
Yeah.
As a human being.
Yeah. But I think a lot of Nigerians are in reverence.
But it's the whole age thing as well. The whole, like,
age, then man of God. There's no,
It's like bow down and worship him.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the talking heads even said that, like, to me, him and God were the same. Can you imagine?
Which is wild.
Can you imagine?
Do you know what? Jesus is a calm dude, fam. Because if that was me and they was chatting on my name,
I would have
calling your fellow disciples, it would have been the flood part 2. I can't lie. It's not me you're gonna play with. It's not me you're gonna play with.
Bro, for real, you'd have been out. You would have met your ancestors so quickly in that second.
You would not have made it to that 52 or however old he was, fam.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. And then obviously he had this daughter as well that he treated like absolute shit. Do you know what though? I feel like they didn't talk about his wife enough. And I feel like there's not enough about her out there. I need to understand the dynamics. I need to understand what she knew. I need to understand why she's still running that church.
Yes, exactly. Because at the end we find out she's still running the church.
It doesn't make sense. There's no, because they lived in separate homes.
Did they even see each other?
Maybe they were married in name only. I don't even know if he had other kids. Oh, he did.
We learned so much, but also so little in this thing.
I mean, the documentary is worth a watch to understand the context, because I don't know if there's anything else on this.
I didn't know who he was before this, you know.
Oh, I did. Everyone knows.
I had never heard of him.
Oh, I'd heard of him.
I had never heard of him in my life.
I'd heard of him. Yeah, everyone knows TB Joshua.
Did it surprise you what you heard of in the documentary?
This stuff doesn't surprise me because I just view a lot of them like this. I just view a lot of them like this. Like, it might be like, I'm so sorry for people who whatever, but I just think I find a lot of African-based churches very problematic. Like, one, why is your pastor so rich and his only job is to be a pastor?
Being a pastor.
And this is not to say that because you're a man of God you should live in poverty, but you definitely should not be living in luxury when that is your only source of income.
Your congregation
it doesn't make any sense at all. It literally says in the Bible it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven.
Enter heaven, bro.
It's written, and then your pastor's a rich man. So this man that is telling you about how to get into heaven, he himself, he's not going because
do you remember that picture?
He's neither a camel nor a needle.
Do you remember the picture of the video of that pastor from time ago? And he was like, if you get to heaven and you don't see me there, you are in hell.
Do you know, we say that in my family all the time. I say to my mom, if I get to heaven and I see you, I'm in hell. If I get to hell and you're not there, there's a problem. No, but yeah, I wasn't surprised, honestly. I watched it and I was just like, oh, okay, another Tuesday.
Yeah, another one. Yeah. Another one, thank you.
When's the next? I think a lot of these churches prey
on... Go.
A lot of these churches prey on the vulnerable. A lot of these churches have egomaniacs.
And the desperation. Like, people are it's like that lady that was crying just saying, I just wanted to find God. People are just desperate to seek God, and they just need something.
They need
do you know
something
what I mean?
to believe
and
in.
that's one of the things that I think one of the biggest factors of joining a cult is that, like, you are missing something. You are looking for something in life. Whether that's religion, whether that's a job, whether that's love, then you get twin flame job. You get fucking job. Like, there's so many. When you're looking for something, when there's something you yearn and you so desperately want,
yeah,
it's so scary.
Some girl did it too.
Oh, did we talk about how they call him daddy?
Oh God, no, we didn't.
Please, if you call your pastor daddy, I just need you to re-evaluate things. Just re-evaluate things.
There's no reason.
Just step back and look at it from a bird's eye view and ask yourself why you're calling another man daddy.
Other than the man that birthed you and the man that pipes you, nobody shouldn't be calling anyone daddy. I'm so sorry.
If you call him daddy,
hey, daddy.
daddy.
I differentiate my daddies, I must say. People say, oh my gosh, it's two different daddies.
Instead it's daddy and it's zaddy.
It's daddy and it's, oh no, the first one sounded a bit,
the first one was it was give me this.
It's daddy.
It's my father.
It's daddy and it's daddy.
It's dad. It's dad.
I do still call my dad daddy.
Daddy, yeah. I
still.
No, well, maybe.
I think everyone's
so.
like, oh my.
Well, when I refer to him to my sister, I say your dad.
Yeah.
But then I guess when I call him, like, oh, daddy. Yeah, I probably do say daddy.
I call my mum mummy.
Yeah. Oh, we call my mum by her first name because it used to like really annoy her. So like we started doing it, and now we just do it. We basically we shorten her first name to one syllable, and that's what we call her.
I mean, I call my parents by their first names, but like if I was talking about the reference in terms of the whatever, it's daddy
who they
and mummy.
are.
But But I call them both by their first names.
Yeah. I was like, we're at that level now, babes.
We're at that level. I say we both pay mortgages. We're both married. Come on.
Listen.
We're homies
what
at
you're
best.
doing, I'm doing.
What you're doing, I'm doing. We're homies at best, my nigga.
Literally. If you like.
But I say all this to say, do not call your pastor daddy. He is, unless your pastor's your husband, then go for gold. But
then maybe in the eyes of the Lord.
But in
in real life,
don't do it.
Yeah, that was weird. And then his daughter, as you mentioned, she was never, as for Ren's reference, drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, she was never about it. She was always like, yeah, I'm calling him out. There's one time she called him out in front of everybody. He was in shock, like, how fucking dare you, kind of thing. He not only beat her, but then invited other people to beat her, and those people beat her. And again, this is what I'm saying about being complicit. Fam, a festival is not funny. A festival of slaps, yeah?
Festival slaps.
It's not funny.
No, Festival of Slaps is funny.
Festival of Slaps is funny.
Have you seen the video where it came from? It was an Hollywood film. And I know what the girl said, and the guy
it's
slapped,
old, isn't it?
Yeah, and the girl slapped the guy. He slapped her back, and they were slapping
back and forth.
Like Festival of Slaps.
Yeah, but then again, when I talk about the members being complicit, yeah, you're here sitting here telling me how you slapped that one uncle that was the talking head that was doing boss, and then when the horse whip, he even came and brought, I don't know where he got the fucking whip from, yeah, in his confessional during his interview, yeah, he's now whipping the chair. I was like, you, sir, we need to check you out. Yeah. We need to look into you a little bit, because that was too much.
That was too much. You liked it a little bit too much. Yeah, too much. It's weird because you come and you start beating this girl. Half of you, did you even know what offence she'd committed?
Exactly. And then for me, like, I can't understand, how someone is brought to the point of like committing violence when they don't have, obviously violence is wrong, but if I'm beefing you, and I have beef with you, like the anger is there, You don't have a horse in this race. So how are you that angry? Where did you
it's like
where
me
did this
seeing
come
two people
from?
on the road fighting and I jump in and what, like, how, where are you even finding that vim from?
But people do that. I'm just like, how no. I have to feel something. Like, where did you maybe it's all the pent up anger from the fact that their daddy is fucking them over. I don't know,
but yeah,
but all the men that were in that cult,
I feel nothing towards them. They are fucking trash. People talking about they're sleeping on toilets just to be close to this guy. That is a personal problem.
A human being.
That is a personal problem.
A human being.
It's giving drinking.
This is Stan culture, no?
One was even saying that this guy needs to shit, they will pull down his pants.
They'll pull down his pants.
I said some things you take to your grave. Bring back shame. Bring back. You lot all have an embarrassment kink. That is what the problem is here. All of you get turned on by being embarrassed. It's kind of like, did you see that thing that Jessie Wu said about Tamar Braxton?
No.
She said that Tamar Braxton has an embarrassment kink. Apparently she got in some fight over this girl that her fiance was moving to, and it happened to be Jessie Wu's friend. And Jessie was like, yeah, like
is this recent? This is after the Tommy thing.
Yeah, this is recent. I don't know if that incident happened recently or Jessie spoke about it recently. And basically was like, yeah, Tamar has an embarrassment kink, and she definitely does. She gets turned on. She loves to be embarrassed.
She must love it, yeah, because that's the only explanation.
Yeah, it's kind of like Blueface and all of them lots. They all like Krishawn has an embarrassment kink as well.
Boy, I am so happy that stuff don't pop up on my thing.
No, I don't see it anymore. But from what I do see, she has an embarrassment kink. But anyways, I say all this to say these guys also have an embarrassment kink, because if you didn't, you would never say this out loud. Because
are you so stupid? Surely not. You
should not be pulling down another man's pants unless
while he shits. So then are you also there as he shits to pull it up after he shits?
Do you wipe
Explain
his
to
ass?
Me. Like, since you want to tell us, literally, do you wipe or is it bidet? Like, you're the one who brought it up. Like, let us know.
No. Oh, God. Yeah, guys. I mean, so would you recommend they watch this documentary?
Trigger warnings, of course, but I'm tired. Like, not I'm over it as in like, oh, this is so boring, blah blah blah. No, it's an important story to tell, but it's just very depressing having these over and over and over again. I think, if you want to and you wanted to see what he looks like, because there's more stuff that happens that we haven't gone into. Like I said, these credits episodes are like just chatting loosely about stuff. Then yeah, watch it. BBC Africa Eye do really good documentaries, and they are really trying and doing the Lord's work. But as Forenz mentioned before, they're going up against the powers that be, and the powers that be benefit from this sort of behavior. Yeah. So
it's kind of like sex for
what
grace.
Difference this is gonna make, what change we will see, I don't know. I can't lie, I'm doubtful, I'm skeptical that any change will happen, but like it's good to see people being exposed, even though unfortunately he's dead. Unfortunately. Oh, did we talk about how they escaped?
No, we didn't.
I don't really get how they escaped. I think one day they just woke up. One day they just woke up.
They didn't go into detail. It almost seemed like it was like one day they woke up and they all decided to escape.
And they all just like, they didn't really go into it that much because, But either way, the Brits are back in Britain.
Boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. Do you know what I did the other day? I went to the cinema by myself.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, I did. It was really cool.
But
well, I went to see Mean Girls, and I didn't think it was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be good at all. And it wasn't. Okay. But it was nostalgic, and it made me just want to watch the original again. They did pick the main things, like the main moments that we were like, oh, haha. Like, I remember that from the movie. But there's bare singing. And do you know what it is about the singing? So I'm not against a musical, but I just want to see it at the theatre is all. Like, when I go to cinema, like, I just want to see a film. And when I go to the theatre, I want to see it. Anyway, the vocals were kind of meaty. Like, Renee Rapp, obviously her voice is insane. But again, the songs just weren't that great. Yeah. Like, I just don't think they were written that well. The black guy, his voice was really nice. The other girl, like the Latina girl, her voice was good, but there was just something off about it. It just seemed like...
Was it a Mean Girls musical, basically, in the cinema?
It was a Mean Girls musical. It's like a remake.
But is it all the same storyline?
So it's basically the same storyline, except there's some differences because of the times, obviously, now. It's kind of like how our parents must feel when they have, like, a remake. I felt really old in that cinema. I was like, fuck.
Was
like,
Tina Fey there?
This is going to be someone's first. Tina Fey was in the movie. Oh, Tina Fey was in the movie as obviously the same teacher, the maths teacher, Katie's maths teacher. And then the principal, the black guy, he was the same principal. And also they are married now, which is like a little development. They chucked that in there near the end. That was cute. They do the same, everyone report to the gym immediately after the burn book comes out. The burn book, instead of her photocopying, like, oh, spoilers, by the way, sorry guys. Instead of her photocopying, but no one's gonna watch it, instead of photocopying it and like throwing them all in the hallway like she did before, she puts the burn book in the hallway on the floor, and then people start taking pictures of it and sending it around. And I was like, why did they do that? Then I was like, oh, obviously no one photocopies these days. I guess. And then what else? They did the whole her coming to Halloween and that ugly costume was the same costume. They did.
Did they do the teacher that was having sex with all the different students?
No, so that gym teacher was there, but he didn't do the chlamydia thing. He just was kind of there. It was kind of like a sex ed thing, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't like in the gym.
Because that was, I guess, in today's day and age, it would be a bit problematic.
Yeah, and also it was a 12A.
Okay.
So like even when she's like, oh, you are a skank bitch, you fugly whore or whatever, yeah, they didn't say bitch. They were just like, you are a nasty girl or something like that. So it wasn't like, it made me just want to go and watch the original again. But it was nice to go to the cinema on my own. I got myself a little popcorn and I was just like, yay, me time.
I will not be watching that. I did watch.
Yeah, don't watch it. I don't recommend.
A while ago, well, not a while ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I watched.
You watched Willy Wonka, right?
Willy Wonka, yeah.
How was it?
I cried, but I'm not really the
What, of joy or sadness?
No, joy. I'm not really the yardstick for crying in movies. I cry at everything. I cried at Moana. There's pretty much anything that's remotely emotional, I cry. Like,
okay,
crazy tears. It was just, it was really good. It was like the origin story of Willy Wonka. There was a lot of singing in it too. I don't know how.
But were the songs good?
I don't know. I really struggle with remembering musical songs.
Like numbers.
Yeah. So
yeah, I get that.
The only one, obviously, that really is the Willy Wonka, the main one, like come with me and you'll see.
Yeah. I just remember how they made me feel. Like I remember if I liked it or not.
Because when I was listening to the Saltburn episode, I was like, wow, I need to sing more. So I'll sing it. Come with me and you'll see.
What's your head doing that?
Because the
What's
notes.
your head doing that?
Because I'm bringing the vocals out from my chest.
Oh, the vibrato.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
No, and then your hair, one side is out and it's just dingling.
I took out my bun and the one side is just dangling.
One side is just doing ding.
I don't know why the other one is still up. Oh, because I didn't. Yeah. But
no, your hair looks healthy.
Thank you, girl. Despite guys, I had faux locks and I
stop looking at it. Stop looking at it.
It's growing though. It's growing. I spray my hair.
Yeah, I can't even tell.
Girl, bye. I spray my hair every day with rice water. I've been adding that rosemary oil in. I'm just praying that by the time we come back from. Well, when I come back from Cayman Islands and I take out my braids, all will be back. Listen,
if you have faux locks at the moment, you be careful taking them out, sis. Be careful. Every single time I've taken out faux locks, there's been a casualty. The only difference is just, okay, is at the front of my head, that's worst case situation. If it's in the middle, best case scenario. Do you know what I mean? If it's in the back, might struggle to get a bun.
Now,
but
I'm limited, in the styles.
Yeah, okay, but she's being very dramatic because you can barely see it. I can't even tell. I literally can't tell.
It's there. Look at it. Then compare it to this Big Brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know, it is your struggle and your struggle is real and your feelings are valid. So
thank you.
I'm going to affirm them today.
Thank you. But anyways, nonetheless,
you're welcome, babe.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
But there's some good movies coming out, so I'll be in the cinema soon again.
Yeah, which ones are you looking forward to? They had bare trailers and I was like, oh, I could watch that. Oh,
I want to watch Poor People or what's it called? It's got that girl from Easy A in it. Looks like a bit of me. Apparently it's absolutely fucking insane. It's like crazier than Saltburn. Yeah.
Oh,
Poor
love
Humans.
that. Oh my gosh, should we go watch it at the same time?
Yes.
We should.
But yeah, I saw a lot of good things that I was interested in. Actually, I can't remember them.
Yeah, me too, but I can't remember any of them right now.
Yeah, as they come out. This episode just went to a different place.
Because we had to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
because we had to.
We had
because
to
we
wrap
couldn't
it.
end
We
on
had
that
to wrap
fucking
a little
motherfucker.
bit. Lighten the mood.
Yeah, lighten the mood.
Okay, so what are we doing next?
That is a great question.
A great question.
Is it the Hatton Garden heist one?
We can do, yeah.
Yeah, so it's about a bank robbery. Haha, that lightens the mood. It's much better than this. I saw my bank anytime.
I saw my husband watching a bit of it actually, and kept saying these guys are fucking idiots, and I was like,
do you know what? You know how you were saying in the other episode that you don't support the criminals, you don't want them to do well, but it's almost like you kind of are like, oh, like I kind of want you to
get away with it.
That's how I feel with bank heists.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as nobody gets hurt, like low key,
just
I'm not as mad.
I'm not mad at it.
As other like that show
I'm not mad at all.
that was on used to be on BBC. I used to root for them every single time, but they did used to target dickheads, so that maybe is why. But anyway, so I'm gonna put the trailer at the end of this, so you can watch it if you want to. It's on Netflix. But yeah, in the meantime, between time, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, 2 Girls 1 Doc, TikTok, 2 Girls 1 Doc podcast. That's everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and where can they find you?
On Instagram and TikTok, Forens the Foodie.
And they can find me on TikTok at bd.mp4. And we'll see you next week.
We will see you.
Oh, rate as well if you're still here. Rate us 5 stars.
Yes, please. Bye.
We thought, right, this is it. This is the time to strike.
It was one of the biggest jewel heists in British history, carried out by the most improbable gang.
These old boys in their 70s still trying to carry out the perfect crime.
This film now reveals the extraordinary details of the police operation to catch the thieves.
The first real breakthrough moment, eureka moment, was the breaking of the pump.
With unprecedented access to one of the burglars.
It was a piss-hole place anyway. I think they'd have a better security.
And the exclusive collaboration of the detectives who cracked the case.
We started to record conversations taking place.
The biggest robbery in history, that's what they're saying.
And with footage that's never been broadcast before, we'll reveal how they captured the mysterious sixth man, the electronics mastermind known as Basil.
It is slightly distinctive, isn't it? You can see that throwing of the right leg.
The jewellery that he had at his home address, there was just such a huge amount of it.
This is the inside story of the police investigation from their point of view.
This was a race against time.